that weird space of the year where the Galaxy Watch Ultra is almost a year old now, and then we've got the Galaxy Watch 8 or even the Watch Ultra 2 just on the horizon. So it raises the big question, should you buy a Galaxy Watch Ultra now in 2025? Well, I've been using the Galaxy Watch Ultra every single day since launch for things like workouts, sleep, phone calls, and even a few accidental smacks into walls. So let me be very clear, this is not me pulling the Galaxy Watch Ultra out of a dusty drawer for a long-term review. This is a real, genuine experience from someone who's used this watch to actually better themselves, from drastically improved sleep to 30 kg of weight loss and huge improvements in my overall health and fitness. First of all, what do we know about the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2? Because I know a lot of you are just thinking, should you just wait it out and purchase one of them? Well, at CES 2025, Samsung revealed their upcoming 4000 nit displays. That's a huge jump in brightness over the 3000 nits we already have on the Watch Ultra. But in my experience, the Watch Ultra is already incredibly bright, even outdoors in full sunlight. So I don't really see 4000 nits of brightness as a game-changing upgrade in my opinion, because what comes with brighter displays? More battery drain. And this brings us on to rumors of solid-state batteries. These promise higher energy density and much better longevity than traditional lithium-ion batteries like we have here. But here's the catch, that tech might not even arrive until late 2026, meaning the Watch 8 or even the Watch Ultra 2 could just be a very minor upgrade over the current version. What might be of interest though is rumors of the rotating bezel making a return. Now for me personally, it's not a deal breaker, but I'd love to know in the comment section if you see this as a really crucial feature of a Galaxy Watch. Let me know below. Now let's talk battery life for the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Always a huge talking point for Galaxy Watch fans and especially Galaxy Watch critics. And I think the best way to do this is actually just to talk about my Galaxy Watch Ultra as it stands right now since its last charge. So yesterday it was a really heavy day for the Galaxy Watch Ultra. I did a 12.5 kilometer run, had the screen on max brightness, I had continuous heart rate going, I had always on display on, the works. It was a very heavy day. As it stands right now, it's on 37% and it's been exactly 1 day since its last full charge. Now this might seem a little bit alarming for some people, but after getting to know the Galaxy Watch Ultra after long-term usage, I could comfortably say this is definitely going to get me to the end of today, and I'd even wager I could do another night of sleep tracking as well before I need to put it on charge. Can I label the Galaxy Watch Ultra battery life as good? Probably not, if I'm honest. Can I label it as bad though? No, I don't think so, because what's really crucial is when you charge this. If you get a really good charging routine with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, you're really not gonna notice the battery, I suppose you could say, issues that you might have been worrying about. So the perfect time to charge the Galaxy Watch Ultra for me is in the morning, where I'm not gonna miss out on any crucial activity, or better yet, even when I'm working at home, sat at my desk, not really doing much, that is a really great time to charge it. And to be honest, because I've been doing that and not missing out on any crucial activity, I really haven't noticed the Galaxy Watch battery being bad at all. So this leads me on to my ultimate battery saving tip as well. The best thing that you can do for your Galaxy Watch Ultra is make use of sleep tracking. This not only makes use of all the Galaxy Watch Ultra's features and helps with all the other new AI features it has, but also it's going to stop you from putting it on charge overnight, which is actually a terrible time to charge your watch, because what you're actually going to do is completely overcharge it and affect the longevity of the battery over the long term. And it means after 1, maybe 2 years, you're going to be seriously complaining about the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery life. For me, I think the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery is fine. I'm not going to go any more than that. I think it is fine. It works for me. It's not going to fit into everybody's lifestyle. But there's a few things that the Galaxy Watch Ultra has over things like Garmin that I think makes it a worthwhile choice and definitely worth considering over something like a Garmin. Now, battery aside, let's talk durability. How has the Galaxy Watch Ultra held up over the long term? First of all, it's a big watch. It protrudes off your wrist quite a lot, so you are inevitably going to smash this against a wall at some point. If you don't, you're extremely careful, and well done to you. But I've smashed this against several walls on several different occasions, and there's been a few dicey moments where I've looked at the watch and there has been a big scratch there and I thought, oh God, this is it. But actually, every single time the scratch has just wiped off. And I think this is due to the really good materials that Samsung has used here, and especially that Gorilla Glass as well. That's gonna help protect the screen. There's absolutely no damage to the screen here. Overall, durability wise, I'm really impressed with the Galaxy Watch Ultra and how it's held up. I do, however, have one issue with the build quality, and that is with this center button. It feels a little bit less put together than the rest of the watch. It's actually a little bit loose, and I know we're really nitpicking here, but this is Samsung's most expensive Galaxy Watch ever by some margin. We were talking, I think, around $600–700 upon release. I just expected a little bit better, and I did wonder whether this is unique to just my watch or perhaps even it's intentional. But I know the other two buttons are used for the body composition analysis. The center button is more just used as a shortcut key, which brings me on to another sort of annoying point. Samsung have missed a really huge opportunity here with that center button. Why have we not got a rotating crown? And we've got to remember as well, the Galaxy Watch has always had that rotating bezel, or not always, but almost always had a rotating bezel, which has been a staple of Galaxy Watches in the past. I just feel like there was an opportunity there for Samsung to add even more use case to that center button or that crown. The fact that we don't have a rotating bezel or a rotating crown does bother me a little bit. However, having 3 buttons instead of the usual 2 has been a huge leap forward, and I actually really do use that center button quite a lot, and maybe that's why it's gone a little bit wobbly. But overall, don't let that deter you from the Galaxy Watch Ultra. This is just my experience, and to be honest, would that stop me from recommending it to someone? Absolutely not. I think it's a fantastic watch, and I'll say a little bit more on that later on. Continuing on, I have to say the design has actually really grown on me. This amalgamation of classic and rugged brought together in one cohesive design really is appealing to me, and it's much more exciting than, say, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro from a few years back, which was actually a really good watch. Another thing I have to give praise to Samsung on though is the massive improvement in the strap system. It's so easy to swap out straps now. I've been mixing it up with some third-party ones and custom fits, and it's genuinely one of the most user-friendly systems I've seen on the Galaxy Watch so far. Again, if we compare to the older Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, that was an absolute nightmare to switch out the straps. It had this tiny little fiddly pin system, which I absolutely hated, and I also hated the default Galaxy Watch strap that came with it. Back to the actual watch for now though, this screen is stunning. It's 1.5 inches of pure brightness. As I mentioned earlier, it's got 3000 nits of brightness, which is actually more than enough in my opinion. I can glance down at this in the sunlight on a midday run and everything shows clearly without having to shield the screen. And on the size front as well, I actually wouldn't mind if it got just that little bit bigger. Honestly, even with smaller wrists, having a bit more real estate for swiping and tapping during workouts would be a plus, but 47mm is actually a really good size for a watch. And I know that we run the risk of the watch becoming too big, especially for people with smaller wrists like me, but because it is a smartwatch and not a normal watch, I'm really not that bothered about how it looks on my wrist. It's all about practicality for me. Now, performance-wise, this is the smoothest Galaxy Watch I've ever used. One UI 7 combined with Wear OS just works so well. Everything loads quickly, there's no weird lag when switching between apps, and even third-party stuff like Spotify and Strava runs work without hiccups. You also get this seamless integration with things like Strava in Samsung Health, which we will go into a little bit later on in the video. But I just want to say that Samsung Health is absolutely brilliant. What you get for free is genuinely incredible, and we're seeing some companies like Garmin now actually putting things behind paywalls, and I really hope Samsung don't follow suit and go down that route, because at the moment this is a big unique selling point for Samsung. Having such a great app connected to their Galaxy Watch really does make it something to be desired. Anyway, back on the performance front, for everyone saying it's slow, I just don't see it. I will say that it seems to have got faster over time, and I do believe that this is because it learns from you and how you use your watch. So you'll also notice that your battery life will actually probably get a little bit better over the sort of midterm over time as well. But overall, it's the best performing Galaxy Watch by some margin that we've ever had, and I'm really impressed with the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and I'm confident that going into the future, a year, maybe even 2 years from now, it's still going to be pretty speedy by smartwatch standards. Now, most people buy a smartwatch for tracking their health, but a good portion of people want those smart features, so they want to use their Galaxy Watch for calls, notifications, and maybe even controlling other devices. But first, let's talk calling. Yes, you can make and receive calls straight from your wrist. I've used it a bunch of times when my phone's been out of reach, and the mic is pretty solid by smartwatch standards. You're not going to be using it to start a YouTube channel anytime soon, but here's what it sounds like. This is the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and if you are enjoying the video today, please do hit the subscribe button to help me reach my YouTube goals. So yeah, not a bad microphone at all. Anyway, notifications come through really quick, and you can even reply to messages using your voice or pre-written responses. It's exactly what I want from a smartwatch, not a phone replacement, but a reliable sidekick for when I'm out and about without my phone. You can get notifications from things like WhatsApp, emails, and more, and you can even control things like your Galaxy Buds, your Spotify, even if it's playing on a smart speaker, and with the right apps, you can even control things like your PC and your smartphone. It's really quite an incredible piece of tech, and the amount that you get in such a small watch or such a small device is pretty damn incredible. So it's all about utility when it comes to the Galaxy Watch. But one other thing that you probably know that I'm obsessed with by now is Galaxy Watch faces. I think that's so fun. It's such a fun ecosystem. And also the availability of third-party, ultra-realistic Galaxy Watch faces really does make the Galaxy Watch a sort of worthy contender to your normal watch, especially when you're going out and about if you do pair it with a smarter strap. Samsung's default collection this year as well is actually genuinely solid. Some of them are super clean, others are data packed and great for workouts or sleep tracking. And if you're into customization, I do have my Watch Face Wednesday short series every single Wednesday where I'll show you a new Galaxy Watch face, or I've got my longer episodes, so do make sure you subscribe for that. Right, let's get into the reason that I am personally attached to my Galaxy Watch Ultra, and that is my real, genuine health results from using the Galaxy Watch Ultra every single day since release. Since using the Galaxy Watch Ultra, I'm so happy to report that I've lost over 30 kilograms. This is a huge achievement for me, and it is all down to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. There is something about this watch that has motivated me more than any other Galaxy Watch in the past. I think I started tracking at around 92 kg, but in reality, I think it was actually much worse than that. And now I'm sitting at around 74 kg. And that's not just scale weight, that's with the help of Samsung's body composition analysis feature. This tells you more than just your weight, it tells you your water, your muscle, and your fat. It's been a mental lifeline for me. There's been a few times where I'd step on the scale, see a gain, but then check the watch and realize it's just a little bit of extra water weight. It's been a game changer for keeping me on track. And for anyone who is getting on the scales every day to track their progress, I think something like body composition analysis is a really great way to keep you on track and a way to stop you from getting demotivated. The other thing the Galaxy Watch Ultra has done for me is help me rediscover a long lost hobby, which is running. So after lockdown, where I really let myself go, I was running 5Ks in around 45 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous. And now my personal best is around 24 minutes and 20 seconds. This is such a huge improvement. And again, this is all thanks to the Galaxy Watch Ultra's tracking features. My VO2 max has gone up to 46.8, and whilst it still tells me I'm sort of average, I'm literally running half marathons now with no prep. I can just go out the door and do it. This is something that I really didn't think was possible a year or two ago. The VO2 max indicator has been a really crucial metric for me as well, because it's not one of those metrics that just shoots up as you get healthier. It's something that moves pretty slowly, so you really have to work at it to keep getting it up. I'm now aiming for an above average VO2 max, and it's actually really hard because I'm now running half marathons, but it's sort of flatlined for a little bit now, so I really need to up my game and push myself that little bit harder to get that metric up. Because of that, even when it moves just 0.1, it does feel so good. Another thing that I've grown a bit attached to and really appreciate from Samsung is the new energy score feature. So mine has consistently improved, especially over the mid to long term. Early on, I was averaging around the low 70s, and now I'm hovering around the mid 80s. That change lined up perfectly with switching up my sleep habits and especially my diet, so I know it's much more than just a random number. My ages index has also started to slowly drop. This is something that obviously takes a lot of work to actually get down, but finally seeing it drop just a tiny bit after months of working really hard is really motivating for me. And it's just another way to add a bit of competition, I guess, with yourself to your workouts and your overall health and fitness. Obviously, a lot of things tie into Samsung's energy score, but one of the most important things is sleep tracking, which is one of the main reasons I wear this watch every single night. I average around 7.5 hours per night now, and the watch gives you a full breakdown of light, deep, and REM stages. There's even snore detection, which is both useful and slightly terrifying. Thankfully, I've not been snoring though, but interestingly, when I did my Watch 5 Pro review several years ago, I was actually suffering from sleep apnea because of all the weight, and that was actually detecting a lot of snoring. That has now also stopped since I've led a much healthier lifestyle, so it really does work, and sleep tracking is genuinely really helpful for me. So I hope it's clear just how much the Galaxy Watch Ultra has helped me, and it's largely due to all of the features that the Galaxy Watch offers over its competitors. And let's talk competition now. There are some strong players out there: the Apple Watch Ultra 2, the Pixel Watch 3, Garmin's Fenix 8, and Amazfit's T-Rex 3. Battery-wise, the Watch Ultra lands somewhere in the middle. It beats Apple and Google, but Garmin crushes everyone for pure endurance. That said, Garmin doesn't offer the smartwatch features I want. Amazfit is cheaper, rugged, and has insane battery life, but the software experience doesn't come close. And for me, the Samsung Health ecosystem remains one of the best out there, especially because it doesn't hide anything behind a paywall, and hopefully in the future, as I said earlier, it won't go down that route. So, should you buy a Galaxy Watch Ultra in 2025? If you want the best balance between design, durability, health tracking, and smart features, it's still the one to be, unless the next Watch Ultra adds a huge leap forward with solid-state batteries and a totally new form factor. I really do think this is going to hold its value really, really well. Even Ez approves, and he is a professional product reviewer. So all in all, the Galaxy Watch Ultra is a big yes for me. If you are working towards your own goals, whether it's running, losing weight, or just getting a little bit of better sleep, drop a comment, let me know your targets and goals. Let's all motivate each other. This is exactly what I want for this community. Anyway, in the meantime, do check out my 75 things to do with the Galaxy Watch Ultra to uncover some hidden tips and tricks. For now though, I've been Alex, this has been Take It Easy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.